Clark Kent, an extraordinary person that carries himself in a way I have never seen before. Sure, he's Superman, but even when he's just being a father to his kids, there's clearly something special about him and his aura that's so charming and magnetic to us viewers. The first reasoning behind Clark Kent's charm is his humbleness. Guys, it's very, very clear that Superman is one of the strongest beings in the entire world. With that sort of power, anyone would build an ego and act above everyone. Because guys, I mean, to be honest, Superman is a little bit above his little puny human friends in Smallville. He's a little bit above that. But you will never see him act like that. You will never see him act like he's above anybody. Throughout the show, Superman and Lois, you can see many occurrences where you see him attend all of his friends' gatherings, be there for his children's football games, and overall put his best human self out there. If you guys don't watch the current Superman show called Superman and Lois, right now, Lois, his wife, is fighting cancer, right? And he, of course, he's Superman. He could just be like, yo, Lois, you fight this. I gotta go, like, deal with bad guys. But you will constantly, always see Superman on her side. Always. In fact, at times, it seems like he's there for her a little too much because he's always telling her to go to her chemo appointments, always go through therapy, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, yo, just leave me alone for a bit. But that right there is the high magnitude Clark supports his people at. And the reason people don't suspect Clark is Superman because he carries himself so differently than how a superhero of his stature would. Guys, even in other superhero shows like The Flash or Arrow, the main guy like Barry or Oliver, you can see throughout the season their human self becomes a little bit like changed. They get a little more aggressive, they get a little bit more like arrogant. They're like, you know, I'm the Flash, like shut up lady, I'm the Flash. But with Clark Kent, I felt like he's always been a genuine human being, and that's what makes him so much more charming to us. And guys, the reason his humbleness is so attractive in our brain is because we, us viewers, we know how capable and strong he truly is, and still, even with all that power, he doesn't try to brag or show it off in any way, which makes him look even more secure and confident within himself, which makes us like him even more. Do you guys see this whole repeating cycle? It's, oh my god, it's beautiful. And this point ties beautifully into the next point of his actual build. For some human nature, his body type, his structure is appealing to most human beings. And trust me guys, people can recognize this build. Funny story really quick, I saw a TikTok like a couple of weeks ago where it was one of these like pranksters, you know those people that go pranking around people's neighborhoods and whatever. So this guy was pranking a household, right? But the guy that was actually being pranked, you know, the guy that owned the house, was this tall white man that talked very charming with like confident body language, right? Like you could see it radiating kind of. And all I commented under that TikTok, all I said is he gives Clark Kent vibes. And that was 22k likes. That's it. All I did is Clark Kent vibes. 22,000 likes. The most top comment. Easy. You know why? Because everybody understands and recognizes this attractive build. So clearly this real life example must show you guys that subconsciously us humans kind of recognize this build. The build of being a tall, clean, masculine looking man that knows how to speak well. Like I don't know, something about it just gives off such strong energy that all you can do is just look. All you can do is just be in awe. You're like, oh my god, yeah. That boy knows how to, you know. But once again, guys, please don't be weird. Oh my god, Coach, you're so fruity. Guys, I'm really trying to speak on a psychological level. Don't be weird, please. But before we move on, guys, let's be honest. I'm that build, right? Like, I'm also that tall, clean-looking man, right? Like, I'm that build. Come on, check me out. Come on, man. Yo. Hey, Lewis. Nice to meet you. How are you feeling? Good. Okay, good. You guys see? Like, I'm like charming, yeah! But now, before we talk about something called the halo effect and how it relates to Clark, guys, I'm officially launching a Patreon. That's what I'm doing now. A lot of you guys always DM me, Coach, you should make vlogs, you should do like personal content. So I figured, why not test that personal type of content, like where you guys can really get to see the real me and we can actually talk one-on-one on Patreon. So if you guys want to get to know me a little bit more personally, we can do like monthly Q&As, we can have one-on-one chats. Join my Patreon, link in description. Okay, I'm sorry. Back to the video, okay? But now back to the video, okay? Now, like I was saying, the halo effect is a psychological rule that says us humans use one positive trait about a person to influence all other traits. So since we find Clark already magnetic because of other reasonings like his looks, his build, his confidence, everything else about him automatically seems more positive to us. Oh, Clark Kent robbed a bank? Oh, well, we know Clark is a genuine, humble, kind guy. I'm sure he had a good reason. See how our brain just tried to rationalize him robbing a bank because, you know, he's a good guy. And I know a lot of you guys agree with me too, because ask yourself, if you've ever seen a Superman movie or a show, have you ever looked at him and be like, yo, Clark, you're evil, bro. Like, you took this too far. You're a bad guy. I don't look at you the same. No, because you've already built that huge level of charisma and attraction towards his character, right? So that positive energy towards him translates across all other aspects, and guess what? Now he's the perfect human in your eyes. Now, the third reason why Clark Kent is so charming to us is how he carries himself and why this body language is so appealing. First, let's discuss his non-verbal body language, aka tonality. The way Clark Kent actually speaks his words. This is a very important part of body language because it ties into how people view you. Clark is the type of person to say something in like a calm, chill manner, and the entire room will take his words seriously. He doesn't have to raise his voice or wave a gun around to be heard because of his nonchalant and calm way of speaking, which also directly gives his enemies a sort of uneasy feeling because usually you don't expect tall, jacked men to speak so calm and chill and relaxed, which indirectly also gives us viewers a gentleman-like impression of him, basically showing us that Clark Kent has class. He's a classy dude. He doesn't like to be violent, vulgar in public. Take this example right here when Clark confronted this man in a diner because, you know, he waved a gun at Lois, threatened the little kid, stole a truck, blah blah blah. Imagine how much more different we would have looked at Clark if he went into that situation, walked up to the guy and just started beating him rapidly, like super hard, aggressive, like of course everyone would be like, yo, savage, you're so cool, you deserve that, oh, but deep down in their minds we'd be like, okay, whoa, like, he just beating him in front of his kids, his wife, everyone would be like, whoa, okay. But instead, you can see the directors know this, so they make him look very classy in this scenario. He walks in, talks to him in a very quiet manner, he doesn't want to escalate it. He's like, yo, you know what you did, apologize, don't ever do that again. And then, you know, they escalate it, so then he's forced to swiftly, you know, put him down and be like, yo, don't ever do that again, and like a little bit more aggressive, right? But it's still not to the point where it's like over top actual aggressiveness. So now you guys know, if you ever want to be charming, try to move in like a gentleman-like classy way. Like obviously not too much where you're like, hey madam, like none of that. But yeah, no one likes the obnoxious loser that's always screaming at the top of their lungs, beating everyone up. Oh, I'm the alpha. Like, no, shut up, bro, shut up. And the next thing we have to talk about when it comes to body language is how Clark actually puts confidence into his body language. Here we dive into his actual posture, the way he stands, the way he walks. Clark feels okay with taking up space and in a very unbothered and carefree way. Like once again, going back to this example right here, he walks up to him swiftly. He's walking up confidently. He's not like, should I maybe not go up to him because he could kill me with a gun? Like he's not doing that. He's walking up swiftly, confidently. You know, he's moving his arms. Like he's moving. On top of that, he talks with such confidence that anyone that is like around and listening is forced to hear what he has to say. He doesn't stutter. He always knows what to say, how to escalate, de-escalate situations, and also how to respectfully set boundaries with other people. And this confidence shows us how emotionally intelligent and emotionally strong Clark Kent is. And ladies and gentlemen, it is for all of these reasons combined that Clark Kent is one of the most charming men alive.